Hello, and welcome to the new Well video. Apologies for it being like this, but I wanted to experiment and try something a little different. So, with that out of the way, let's... What? No, Mom. I'm in the middle of something important. No, this isn't a joke.
Smoke. Oh. Hi. My God, I got fat. To begin my first video coming back into the video making madness of YouTube, I'd like to take this moment to admit that I am a man of many regrets. One of them being that I never got to play the game Gigantic, as it's one of the most polished multiplayer games ever made before being shut down for stupid reasons. Another is being one of those 1% of people not seeing the Joker movie in theatres, but that will soon be corrected. And lastly, never finishing my much promised Spy Kids review. Oh, wait a minute. My point is that I'm one of the few people in the world that sometimes misses out on a lot of great things. Thankfully, I've tried correcting this by simply giving a damn when something new and exciting is released and make sure that I'm there when it happens. If only to prove how disappointing it truly is. But I've been proven wrong on a lot of things over the years, and one of those wrongdoings was when I was first introduced to fighting games for the very first time at a young age. I simply said they were boring, clunky and controlled like crap, and I also said they were gay too. And please do forgive me for using those words, but it was 2003 when I said this, and it was considered cool to say that. This kind of shows how the passage of time can be cruel to us all. I suppose by now you're wondering, what am I even talking about? Well, there is a reason for me bringing up fighting games, because I never was a big fan of them until I stumbled upon this little gem called Marvel Superheroes for the PS1, and after playing it through all the character stories, I couldn't get enough of it, and I simply wanted more. And by the way, this game came out originally as an arcade game, and before Marvel took the world by storm with its successful movie and failed TV franchises. That being said, this game is surprisingly confident in its ability to not only engage its audience with well thought out controls, character designs which was taken straight from their respective TV shows to help us be more familiar with them, and presentation. However, this was before Capcom went a bit weird. But then they went back to remaking Resident Evil games, and it sort of worked out in the end, I suppose. My point being that despite the very limited characters you have to pick, it makes up for being almost a technical genius, as every move you make when fighting is well crafted and almost unique to that character. Like for instance, when Captain America throws his shield at an enemy, it sometimes depends if you block it or get hit by it, it doesn't always go back to him and lays on the floor until he picks it back up. Small details like that really help to make a game as limited as this seem more engaging and alive to me, something that new modern games should learn from. This makes me immediately question myself, as when you use a special attack as the Hulk, he brings down a fucking meteorite straight from space and smashes it onto his opponents. Which should break all the laws of gravity. As far as I knew, the Hulk never could jump into space and bring things like that down to the Earth. But this is a fighting game based on a comic book character, so what the hell do I know, right? Also, he could talk. Like normal. You know what, I'm not even going down this rabbit hole, as there's so much more to talk about in this game, and... Moving swiftly along, time to mention the characters, and since I've already mentioned Chris and Mark over here, let's meet the others. You've got mostly fan favourites like Tom, Hugh, Ian, Robert, Vinny, Olivia, Hentai Monster, and whatever the fuck that is. In addition to them, you can also unlock Doctor Doom and Thanos respectively once you've completed pretty much everything. Fun fact, you could also unlock another character from another Capcom game called Darkstalker, but since it's only released in the Japanese version, we can pretty much move on from here. Remember when I mentioned earlier that this game is a technical genius? Well, slight exaggeration aside, I wasn't joking when I said this game controls really well when performing combos, attacks, and their special moves. In fact, if I may go a bit sad for a moment here and say that I really like how each character moves and controls differently from each other, as I feel in some fighting games nowadays characters have movesets and controls almost exactly the same, and it really throws me off. As mentioned a few seconds ago, each character controls really smoothly and each one have their own strengths and weaknesses. Some do best at long range, close range, and some have a mixture of both. Unless you are Iron Man or Doctor Doom, who just straight up shoot everything in sight with their weapons and tech. I would make a dick joke here, but I'm better than that, and I haven't even mentioned Psylocke's breasts movements yet. Speaking of things that I haven't mentioned yet, in this game while battling you're also collecting the Infinity Gems, which in turn help the players by powering them up, making them affect reality or environment around them, or in some cases heal them. Makes a change of them being the MacGuffin of the game, as the only goal in this game is to... save your comrades, I guess? Because after you beat the main villain, Thanos, no surprise, you use the gems to free everyone who was turned to stone, and every character has their own ending. Some are cliche and others are somewhat interesting, but once again is nothing to write home about. Look, I'm sorry, I know I was going to write a bit more, and I know everyone was expecting a very detailed review about a fighting game, but sadly there isn't really a lot more I could talk about. I mean, I could mention the sequels, but I never played any of them besides another game in their lineup, but that's about it. Hey, I know this is a weird way to end a video, but good first impression, right?
Hi. No, actually. Sorry, I was contacted by your press crew to come in and set a few things straight. You know, a couple of things you forgot, a lot of cool details you left out, like how the background moves while the players fight, the quality of the soundtrack, quite the set of jams there. But also, Blackheart and Shumagarath, man. Like, how do you not know who... It's Mephisto's son, my dude. And this guy, it's basic Marvel history right there. You can do better, right? Right, mate? Can you?
Oh.
Right, mate? Can you? I hope so. I should probably cut this here.